Introducing the Props Optimizer, a completely free app to help you find the winning edge in the player prop market. Our AI-powered insights and projections will help you make better decisions and more informed bets. So check before you bet and download the free Props Optimizer app today, available on iOS in the App Store. Happy March Madness. I'm Shannon Sommerville from the LineStar YouTube channel, and we're going to keep it rolling here with the player prop bets for this NCAA tournament. So far, 2-0 on Thursday's picks. We're still waiting on one more to finish up here, Wofford's Kyler Filowich, but let's keep it rolling for these Friday games and see if we can't go 3-0. By the way, all of our picks are available on places like Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Parlay Play. We've got all those links below. The key is to use the promo code LineStar when you first download it so you can get a nice deposit match plus 1 free month of the LineStar app. And I've got to tell you about the Props Optimizer. It's a brand new tool that is out and it's completely free in the iOS App Store right now. You can download it today. If your bracket looks anything like mine, you might be resorting to the prop market for the remainder of the tournament like me. So yeah, that's kind of how my bracket's been going. But at least I've got props and so far 2-0. So let's keep it rolling here today. Again, using that Props Optimizer tool. And if you could do me a huge favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. Let me know what you're rolling with on Friday's games. We've got some great games on the slate. And one thing I like to do is I kind of try to zero in on some of these underdogs and maybe some potential players that could pop. And the first player that kind of jumped out to me, and there's an interesting narrative here too. Let's look at Robert Morris and their senior guard, who's actually from Bessemer, Alabama, Cam Woods. I'm going to take the over on his point total at 14.5. Now, this is a guy who played AAU with Alabama's Mark Sears. So also Woods has kind of been there, done that in this NCAA tournament. He joined Robert Morris this season after making the Final Four last year with NC State. And this season he's averaged 15.1 points per game and has been over each of the last 5 games. Going up against Alabama, maybe a little revenge factor here against, he's from Alabama, probably knows a lot of these guys pretty well. And Alabama does rank 31st in adjusted defensive efficiency. I think that's why we see the line where it is, 14.5. But they also play very fast, and they're going to push the pace here. The game total of this game is 166.5. So it definitely reflects the pace of play here for Alabama. They're the number 1 team in the country in possessions per game, so we know why that game total is where it is. But I think that's ultimately going to push Robert Morris and the Colonials and players like Cam Woods to put up a ton of shots in this game. So I like Cam Woods here over 14.5 points. Next up, let's go to a rebounding prop, shall we? St. Mary's dominates the glass. I'm going to their big guy, Mitchell Saxen, over 7.5 rebounds. St. Mary's is number 1 in the country in their rebound margin, and Saxen is a big reason why. He averages nearly 8 rebounds per game, and he has been over that 7.5 mark 6 of the last 10 games. Going up against Vanderbilt, a team that is 9th in the SEC in rebounds per game, kind of mediocre. And when you look at Saxen, he's 6'10", 250. He's a senior, so he's got the poise to be able to handle this kind of environment. And he also has at least a couple inches on all the Vandy starters, including Vandy's center, Devin McLaughlin, who is 6'7". So he's got the size advantage. We've also got a game total that's the lowest of the entire slate at 135.5. Lowest of the day usually indicates that the Vegas odds makers think there's going to be some missed shots in this game. That leads to rebound opportunities. So we're going Saxen over 7.5 rebounds. And lastly, let's go to the Duke Blue Devils and their sharpshooter. I'm talking about Duke freshman guard Knueppel. Over 16.5 points is what we're rolling with here. Knueppel's only averaging 14.4 points per game throughout the course of the season. However, if you zero in on the last 5 games, he's been over each of the last 5 and averaging 19.4 in that span. Now, Duke's star, Cooper Flagg, who sat out of the ACC championship game with an ankle sprain, does not have an injury designation. They say he's good to go. He's listed as active. I'm not 100% sold on him getting a full workload here. If there's any minutes restriction, the biggest beneficiary to that in the stat sheet is going to be Knueppel. And also, when you look at Mount St. Mary's, they allow threes at a pretty high clip. That is where Knueppel can absolutely rack up the points in a hurry. He also leads Duke in free throw percentage. So I am comfortable with Knueppel over 16.5 points as well. Putting all 3 of those picks on an entry on Underdog. You can tail me there if you'd like, or you can fade me too. I take no offense, but best of luck to you guys. If you've got any picks for me or absolute locks for Friday's games, please let me know in the comments. We're all here to try to help each other out and beat the books on this Friday and hopefully have some fun doing it. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next time.